your plan to take over the remaining 25% of Gaza and occupy all of it?
Well, you know, he understands that it's Israel who's going to do the fighting. It's not American soldiers.
Did he give you a yes?
Well, he just says, I know Israel will do what it has to do, and we haven't got into that kind of discussion. But we have gone into a discussion on two things. One, the humanitarian surge that we're going to do, which will precede our final military action, because I want the population to be in safe zones, to have food, water, sewage, electricity, medical help. I want to free 2 million Gazans from Hamas terrorism. The second thing that we agree on is that the day after has to have certain principles. I'm not talking about a detailed plan yet because I think that'll be developed. But the 5 principles, the key principles are these. 1, Hamas has to lay down its arms. 2, Gaza has to be demilitarized. 3, all the hostages have to be released. And 4, Israel will be responsible for overall security. So if there's an attempt to have a resurgent Hamas or resurgent terrorism, you know, we're the ones who are going to take care of it. And 5, let Gaza be governed by a civilian authority that is not Israel, because I don't want to occupy Gaza forever. I don't want to govern Gaza. I want to have a different governance there that basically is willing to live in peace with Israel and give Gazans a different future. That's entirely different from these unbelievable lies that are leveled against us, frankly against me too, by the international press that doesn't care to check the facts. It just takes Hamas statistics, Hamas arguments. It just swallows them hook, line, and sinker, and delivers this vilification of the one democracy, the one Jewish state that is fighting people who massacred. It's the equivalent of the massacre of thousands and thousands of Americans, the rocketing of American cities. Nobody would stand for that.
Come back to my experience inside Gaza this week. We went to an aid distribution site, food distribution site. Your own soldiers have been accused of killing innocent Gazans who are in line for food. That's the accusation, almost on a daily basis. Can you defend that?
Yeah, I could deny it because it's a Hamas accusation. They're the ones often who are doing the shooting and waiting for our soldiers to respond. And in fact, very often they don't respond. But all these stories are repeated ad nauseum, and the people don't even bother to check the facts. We're doing everything that we can to avoid civilian casualties. And in fact, if you look at it, I mean, the town of Rafah that you saw all that, right?
All of it.
Right, okay. So I told you why there was devastation, because we moved the population out and then went to and dealt with the booby traps that were there. And we killed a lot of terrorists there. You know how many civilians we killed there? Practically none. Why? Because we told them, please leave. We showered them with leaflets. We called them millions of text messages and many other means to get them out. And they walked out. They walked out 2 miles to the coast.
You know, people think it's hard to get to places like this, or this, but you can have all of this if you earn enough points.
Well, we can take a break if you want. There's about 10 minutes left. But any thoughts, comments, questions, ideas, opinions?
Where they had a safe.
No, silence is acquiescence. Okay, here we go. This is the rest.
And practically no civilians were killed. That nobody describes, nobody talks about. Israel is doing things that no army in history has done. Colonel John Spencer, who's the head of urban warfare studies at West Point, he said that in all of his modern history, he said, no army in the world has done that. And yet Israel is, of course, accused again and again and again by fake reports, by Hamas statistics that are fake. And, if you repeat a lie often enough, it assumes the cachet of self-evident truth. It's still a lie.
Yeah. Your chief of army says your military is exhausted.
Shugi, did you want to say something?
I'm good.
Okay.
It's almost 2 years of war. And I mentioned 20 years ago this month, Ariel Sharon made the decision to get out of Gaza, bring the settlers out, and it's been that way ever since, and Hamas moved in. But you have 10 million people who live in this country.
That's right.
And they have a lot of opinions.
Yeah, well,
Is it
it's
possible?
a democracy, you know.
Is it possible for you to keep Israel unified almost 2 years into this war?
Oh, I'm sure we can. I mean, there's an organized and systemic campaign against us. That's part of democracy. I accept it, although a lot of it is foreign funded by the same people who also encourage the demonstrations on your campuses and so on. But I'll tell you one thing, the people are united. Not every last one. This is not a dictatorship. But, you know, when it's a Southern Front war, and look at what we did. You know, we were attacked. We were on the verge. Everybody thought this is the end of Israel on October 7th, when Hamas cruelly beat us and those monsters took the hostages and murdered the men and raped the women and beheaded. It's beyond belief. And burned babies, okay? And everybody said, oh, Israel is gone. And I said on the second day of the war, I said, we're going to change the face of the Middle East. And we went against Hamas, then we went against Hezbollah, the terror proxies of Iran. Then we had the downfall of the Assad, the murderous Assad regime in Syria. And then we went after Iran, and President Trump joined us, which was a magnificent act of solidarity against a common enemy. Everybody said, oh, well, you know, Israel is not going to be together, but it is. Now we have to complete the job of eliminating basically the last proxy of Iran that's still standing.
And this is your job to sell it to your people.
Well, I don't have to, believe me, the people are selling it to me. You know, I go into Gaza as you went in. You've been to Rafah? I've been to Rafah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Talk to the soldiers. Talk to the division commanders. You know what they tell me? They tell me, Prime Minister, don't bother with the press. Just press on of liberating Gaza from these murderers. And we can do the job. We can separate the civilians from the combatants. We can eliminate Hamas. We can liberate the remaining. And the test of time is that in the hour of peril, Israel didn't slumber like other democracies often do. In the face of this challenge to our existence, we took on a seven-front war, won it, and secured the peace, and expanded the peace after this victory. Expanding the Abraham Accords, creating a different Middle East. That's what we're in the process of doing. The last part is hard, but it's doable, and we'll do it.
Let me come back to the Abraham Accords, because the president made news on that earlier today. In America, there has been a considerable rise in anti-Semitism, especially on American college campuses.
Yeah.
How did Israel, especially for Americans under the age of 30, young Americans, how did Israel lose this argument? Or maybe the better question would be, how do you win them back?
Well, I think we will. First of all, you win by winning and shortening the war. And President Trump has given us the support to finish this war as quickly as possible. Of course, we have to contend with a campaign of vilification that is done by so-called reputable news media. I mean, the New York Times puts out a major story on the front page, a Palestinian mother holding a child, starved supposedly, and then it turns out that that child has cerebral palsy. It's a congenital disease. He has a brother who's well-fed, family is well-fed, but it's put out this thing, and then it corrects it with a denial the size of a postage stamp buried in the back pages. No. You know, we can't work by lies. How do we win? Eventually the truth gets out. It takes time. People will see the humanitarian surge. People will see our efforts to prevent civilian casualties. People will compare what has happened here to other urban warfare sites that were not nearly as dense, as difficult, without this 50 meters below ground, these terror tunnels, and yet Israel will triumph, will succeed in this mission. And most of the people, I can't say 100% of the people, but most of the people are united. And ultimately, this is democracy.
So instead of shifting that argument on the media, whether it's the New York Times or maybe the Gazan Health Ministry, putting out, because you've said repeatedly in this conversation that they exaggerate, will you allow more independent reporters to go into Gaza and see it for themselves?
That's my conclusion. In fact, that's my instruction as of this morning to the military. And I said, that's exactly what you should be doing. Those who are lying are going to continue lying. But give honest journalists the ability to see the truth. A, the fact that we're trying to get civilian aid humanitarian aid to the people of Gaza, the efforts that we're making there. B, to understand and explain why those buildings are destroyed, because they're booby-trapped, and we clear the population. And I'm glad you were in. I'm glad you did this thing. I'm glad, in fact, I would say you were blazing the trail. But there have been others, and we have the same result. Every time people see it, they see it in a more realistic way, in a more honest way than the way that it's presented in, unfortunately, in the New York Times and others. New York Times should be sued. I'm actually looking at whether a country can sue the New York Times, and I'm looking into it right now, because I think it's such clear information. I mean, you put a picture of a child that's supposed to then represent all these supposedly starving children, yet they put in this picture of a child who has cerebral palsy. Then they took another picture somewhere else in other media, a child who had cystic fibrosis, got nothing to do with starvation, or another child that we actually sent to Italy to be cured, and Israel is accused.
But still, you can see there is suffering on behalf of
there is
people
suffering
in Gaza.
Yes, because Hamas is interdicting aid, exactly, and what we're doing is overcoming it. I don't deny that there's suffering. I want to end the suffering, and I want to end it by ending Hamas rule. Would you like to be governed by 20,000 armed monsters who shoot you in the back of the head if you try to leave a war zone, who shoot you if you say, I want to have my freedom from Hamas? We now have Gazans fighting Hamas. They finally have the courage to do that because they see that Israel is progressing, and they think that we're going to win. So they're not afraid anymore to stand up for their own rights. And they have their separate schools, they have separate programs, because they don't want to educate their children for endless fanatic warfare, which is what Hamas is teaching. Hamas is saying, death to Israel, death to America. They hate everything that a free society stands for. And ultimately, the people of Israel understand it. And I think ultimately, the free peoples of the world will understand.
I have one more question, but I want to clarify something if I could.
Sure.
You've said a few times now that the buildings in Rafah that we saw have tunnels underneath them.
Yeah.
Watch what magnesium does to your bowels.
If you have to wipe more than 4 times after you poop,
Yeah.
There's no way for us to see that when we're there physically with our own eyes, but you're saying all these buildings were booby-trapped?
All.
And they were not hit by the Israeli Air Force?
No, what I'm saying is
Because
that,
it is building after building.
well, these
house after house.
remember, these houses are empty to population. In the beginning of the war, I remember my visit to Washington, and I was told under the previous administration, they said, there are 1.4 million people in Gaza, in Rafah, because we moved the population away from war zones, and they all concentrated in Rafah. Then we wanted to eliminate Rafah. It's like, we were told, don't go in there. And I said, what do you mean don't go in there? It's like the Allies are, take over Germany, and finally they're told, don't go into Berlin, and leave the German army, 25% of the German army intact. I said, of course I have to go in. But they said, but there are all these civilians. And I said, okay, we'll make sure that they leave. In fact, they left within 6 days. They all left. Then we had to go in. It's full of terrorists in those buildings. In the streets, they booby-trap the streets, they booby-trap the buildings. So we go in and clear it away. And that's what you would do. That's actually, that's what you did. That's what you did in your war zones, too.
The reason why this point is important for me to understand is we only saw one part of Gaza, and we did not see the rest of it, the town of Rafah, as I referred. Last question, sir, if I could, please. The president earlier today put on Truth Social that he wants all the Middle Eastern countries to join the Abraham Accords. Who are the holdouts?
Well, you know who we have peace with. So if you look at the other countries, they're the ones that are potential and real potential candidates for this. And I think, look, the president and I joined forces with Arab leaders and had the Abraham Accords, which were historic changes, a real change in the Middle East. We had 4 peace treaties with 4 Arab nations in a very short time. And in fact, I think that the attack on October 7th, among other things, it was meant to destroy Israel, but it was also meant to destroy the possibility of peace between Israel and the leading Arab country, Saudi Arabia. So obviously we like to see, with the elimination of Hamas and the and the Iran terror axis, which has been our war. Our war the last 2 years has not been with Hamas only, it's been with Iran and all its terror proxies and its attempts to develop nuclear weapons.
Other than Iran, who would be a party to this deal?
Well, Iran could be too if the people of Iran rise.
Is that an invitation?
It's been something that I think many of them want. Many of them want to relieve themselves of that tyranny. And they openly say it. I send videos to them, and I'm amazed. Bill, I'm amazed. Millions and millions of respondents from Iran, sometimes with their names and even their faces. You can't believe that they're doing that, but it shows you the thirst for liberation there. So, but if the liberation of Iran will happen because we delivered a very strong blow to Iran's seeming invincibility, and the people will rise from within. But who are the countries that we know we could make peace with? Once we finish the war in Gaza, I think there are at least 5 or 6 countries here in the Middle East. And President Trump and I have talked about it a great deal. And he's been just an unbelievable partner.
When'd you talk to him last?
A few days ago.
Okay, so this week.
No, I think it was last week, I think. But we talk every week or so.
You talked to Vladimir Putin recently.
Yes.
A couple times.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
What did he tell you?
Well, I can tell you what I told him. I said that I took note of the fact that he said that Iran should not have nuclear enrichment, which is the American position, and our position. I thought that was very good. And I also said that I hope that he'd come to an agreement with President Trump.
On Ukraine.
Right.
We'll see if we get that peace.
Yeah.
Mr. Prime Minister, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good to talk to you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So far as we can tell, it's the first.
Okay, that's the Fox News interview. That came out 3 days ago. It's got 361,000 views. The title is Netanyahu Announces Israel Will Take Control of Gaza.
Have
We're
watched
watching.
Tucker Carlson. Tucker
Right, no,
Carlson
but
is
this
not a religious
interview-
figure for me.
Right.
You
so
hate
this is
Jesus.
I don't hate
Okay,
anybody.
stop.
Why would I hate somebody I've never met?
Why do we need to have these like?
Why would I hate somebody I don't know?
Why are you being not focused?
And why
Can I
are you
just
being
get-
schizophrenic and trying to tell me how I feel?
Oh my
You
god!
hate
why-
Jesus. Hang on, wait a second.
I'm just
I was
trying to have an interaction.
So why did you say I hate
Norm?
Jesus? I never said that.
I never
Okay,
said you
Norm,
did.
why
I
do you need to
asked
defend
you if
yourself?
you
I'm trying
hated.
to
Oh,
have
I
a
thought. Why would I
conversation.
hate somebody I know not? Do you hate confusion?
Because many people think that he claims to be the
Well,
Messiah
it was-
that 30
Okay.
you're waiting.
Nobody else.
When did he claim?
Yeah, you're
when did he
waiting.
claim that?
You're waiting.
When did Jesus claim
Why
to be
did
the
you just
Messiah?
let Daniel?
Are you listening to one of
John's
and John 30 to 40
Wait, one at a time, guys.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's just a brief sample of El Normo.
Is that now?
Yeah, that's now.
I heard it from a distance. I thought he was in this room. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? That's just hilarious, bro.
Here's a little
Keep
more.
playing it. I like listening to it. Go.
that's what guys
Guys are
Norm.
talking over each other.
Okay, for Norm.
And
this-
go ahead.
So for Norm, this Tucker interview
Yeah.
would be good for. This is a good listen because Tucker, like he said, doesn't like. It's not like a religious thing. The person that he's interviewing, it is.
Okay.
It's phenomenal. It's an hour and a half, but I promise you won't regret.
Who is he speaking to?
Neopolz, how do I like? But how would you explain
Well,
that?
what's his name? Start with that.
This is a guy who has academic background in just like Christian and like I think specifically Catholic like artifacts and
Okay. See, he's a Catholic.
he is, but it's
You
it's-
deny
what
Jesus.
he talks about like over
You're in the Matrix,
nearly
Neopolz.
200
I-
academic
no,
reviews
hold on.
and
I
articles.
don't have any smoke with the Pope. I don't. I love Catholics. I think they have a great faith.
Can you hear me now?
What's that?
Neopolz was in the Matrix. Are you
I
there?
think the
Oh, yeah.
Catholics have a great faith. Can you know what
Yes,
he's
you're
done to
perfect. Wait,
Jewish
hold on,
people?
Daniel. Let Neopolz restate what.
I don't dwell on the past. I'm living in the
Oh,
now.
look, here's okay. So, anyways, just about this Tucker show. He interviews this like, yes, the guy's personally Catholic. But
Okay.
what's interesting is he discusses like 200, academic sources. I think specifically on the shroud in which Jesus, peace be upon him, was buried.
Very nice.
And it's actually
To you, Jesus is a prophet,
No,
not God,
no.
correct?
No.
Yep.
What
yes,
to?
he's a.
To
Yes, that's true. But he's
He's
also
a prophet. He's not
He's the
divine.
Messiah. He's the Messiah.
Oh, I thought that the Muslims did not think he was Messiah.
No, we do. He's referred to almost exclusively in the Quran as the Messiah, Jesus, son of Mary.
I see. So you believe he's a Messiah, but not God.
Yeah, that's what yeah.
Yeah.
And the Christians believe that he's God.
Yes.
Yes,
the Messiah.
We Muslims recognize that he's the Word made flesh, that he is the Logos.
Yes.
Right.
We honor the distinction between divine essence and the manifestation of the Logos. So yeah. So from that
Wait, you
perspective,
honor
he's
the
just a prophet.
distinction between divine essence, which we all have,
Yeah.
and
No. On the ontological level of the divine itself. So what we call God is the divine, like that which is truly like divine in its proper place. Whereas Christianity.
Well, wait a second. You don't believe that there's a God?
No, they do.
No.
So you
yes,
believe?
my whole point, everything that I'm leading up to, is that I don't believe there's a God. Yes, you're correct. Now ask a follow up.
Stop it. You're bullshit.
So the follow-up is that you believe that Jesus is the manifestation of God in Islam?
He's the manifestation. No, in Islam he is. We call him Ruhullah, the Spirit of God. That he is.
I see.
A word. That he is the Word made flesh. Right.
He's the Word
They
made
see him
flesh.
as a prophet.
Which
No,
word?
they see him as a prophet.
Well, no, but he's going into more detail than just like he's not like Moshe. He's different than Moshe.
Yeah, he's different than Moshe. Moshe is not.
Is he of
Moshe hears the word and writes it down, right? Jesus, Jesus is the word, right? Like every single thing that he uttered was like in perfect coordination and emanation from the divine.
Yes.
Don't you believe that of all the prophets?
No.
So
Oh, because that's what I heard that Muslims believe, that everything the prophets say is perfect and divine.
Stop it.
we believe that.
Yeah, no, I heard that.
No. First of all, the only thing that's divine is what comes directly from God. Jesus is, and so again, so my perennialism. I would just point out this sort of thing. Christianity as a religion is the path of love par excellence, right?
Okay.
And so its starting point is love, and from that perspective, in every true love, and I think I'm quoting Rumi here or some other mistake.
Wait, did you say
in every true love,
Christianity influenced Islam?
Say again?
Did you? No, I want. Do you think that? So you're saying
Of course it
Christianity?
did.
No, him. He said that. You believe that
No, I said
Christianity influenced the Islamic?
How could it not?
I mean, so.
No, I'm asking because I want.
I think that, so obviously I believe Islam is a revelation from God, right? But in its unfolding of we have the polemics between Muslims and Christians. We know that there were debates and things, and of course I think the intellectual trajectory, certainly there was influence, but in terms of it being a real revelation from God, as in God Almighty decreed, He willed that there would be Islam in the world. I believe that, right? I'm a Muslim. But I don't believe that Islam upends or supplants or is meant to replace Christianity. Quite the opposite. I think I have more thoughts. On that, but.
Would you say that
anyways.
majority of Muslims that are practicing believe what you do, or is this because this is a person this is interesting to me, and I appreciate listening to and learning from you, but I just have never heard this.
No, first of all, I don't think that the typical believer, whether of any religion, I've been very blessed that
Okay, I can't listen anymore to this.
Use it. They use their
So this has been how can Palestinians win the war while also being genocided? Just doesn't make sense, right? If you're getting genocided, you can't win the war. So it's been an exciting room. I hope you have enjoyed listening to Benjamin Netanyahu talk to, I don't know, is his name Brett Baer? I can't remember. It's Fox News. My friend, Enigma, Daniel, Harry, I bid you all farewell and adieu. I am headed out into what's called a book.
Book. All right, is anybody here? I guess I'm going to end the room here. We've all agreed that we have to end Hamas. End Hamas, end the room, end your thinking, and end your problems.
Something that like gripped my soul, and I talk about it in a lot.
Well. What do we have here?
Three like Sister Lucia, I've read all about her life.
Prodigal daughter,
Into, like,
but not really
like,
repentant.
I'm constantly picking up like Catholic like YouTube channels.
It was so weird. Oh, we can't talk about it now. The room's being recorded.
It's not being recorded. Technically it's being recorded at Clubhouse, but it's being streamed, and then after the live stream, then a recording will remain. Slightly different concept, but I hear your point.
They're gone now. What are you calling me, a social outcast? What the hell?
I think you just proved it.
I'm amazing. Everybody wants me in their group.
All right. As usual, I'm gonna mod the women because it serves two purposes. It makes me look like I'm a bitch magnet, and it's also just more civilized. Women are less likely to move people to the goo, mute them unnecessarily, or kick them from the audience. So I appreciate the ladies. Thank you.
You underestimate us. We kick hard.
Okay, maybe I'll put an age limit on this.
All right.
I don't, because I don't like to hurt people's feelings.
I do, bring it.
I just want to let the room know that last night's Mojo experience netted a skyrocketing 4,000 viewers on the YouTube Live.
Wow.
Excellent. Congratulations, Mojo.
What was the peak concurrent viewers? What did that get to?
I think like 70 maybe.
That's pretty good. What do you think opened up that portal?
I'm not sure either. Maybe somebody posted it, or because I posted the link in the chat, and then people from Clown House went in there, maybe, and then it triggered the algorithm to show more. You have to have momentum, I think.
Yeah, well, something that used to be true about the Clubhouse algorithm, and it makes sense that it would work for other platforms like a YouTube, is the velocity in which you open a room. Alex New York and I used to talk about it, and this is why, if you remember when he would open rooms, he'd open a room, and then if it didn't have 100 people within the first 5 minutes, he would just shut the room down. He'd reopen it, and he might do that 6 or 7 times, and then eventually you build momentum because you get the people that were in the room when it got closed down, but then when you start a new one, they jump in, but then also new people. That doesn't work anymore. Clubhouse just changed their algorithm, plus there's just not as many people on that, but I think velocity is important. So maybe what we should do is, before you start the live stream, maybe we could talk about how do we just get people to go view it over there, and where we could share it, elsewhere, whether it's on, for the older people, they could share it on Facebook.
I will say, Mojo, I do not consent to being recorded. Just to make it clear.
Those words mean nothing.
No. Make it clear. Well, I'm not an attorney, but it's...
So can I ask 2 questions?
Cackles is an attorney. Cackles is my.
David, isn't it too early to be drunk?
Let's going on with Alex New York? He used to be holding rooms all the time.
I remember Alex in New York. I miss that guy.
She's not 3 times. You don't say the name 3 times.
Beetlejuice!
Okay, but whatever happened to him?
Well, I'll tell you, if I knew information, I would probably withhold it, because it's not polite to share. I think what we could just say is that there was a place for him on this app, and well, I think some of his rooms were the dumbest rooms on here. I also think that. Why would you interrupt me, David? Why would you interrupt me?
Sorry.
What have you been drinking today?
No, because.
No, I want to know what you've been drinking. Don't even tell me how many, because that would be doxing.
So there was this situation with Alex in New York.
No, but what are you drinking today?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Okay, well then until you want to participate in the room, I'm gonna move you down to the audience. We'll move you back up when you're ready to tell us what you've been drinking. You don't have to say how many. That would be too personal. But go ahead and put it in the chat what you've been drinking. That'd be great.
Can I ask Kitover a question?
Yeah, go ahead. Do you guys formally know each other? Have you guys met?
No. I'm going to Chicago when the next festival is, so I wanted to know what is the next up-and-coming festival.
Why don't you meet him at the campaign headquarters?
Oh, I could do that and give him a little contribution.
You could go to the Air and Water show, or you could go to the Polish Fest, and then there's like another big one in Chicago, like downtown by Chicago Theater. It's just.
That's what I thought. The Polish Fest. I go to all Polish things. I'm not a Polak, though. Thank you.
Hello? This is Cackles calling in. We all... What's up, guys?
Long-time listener, first-time caller?
That's about right. I got a bone to pick with you guys.
What?
I'm just kidding.
No way.
What happened, Cackles? What did we do? And how?
Nothing. It was a long time listener, first time caller joke.
No, keep on going. I'm feeling froggy. Let's go. The next part of that sentence needs to be. Cackles, the next part of that sentence needs to be, am I the asshole with?
Am I the asshole of? Yeah, that could be it. Ooh.
Right, new poll. Thought it was relevant and timely. Hey, Liz.
That's a great
It's definitely
poll.
WWE women.
You know what I really like about the positive mojo vibration experience is the changing titles, the changing polls, the dynamic nature of the room.
Your dynamic nature.
Hello, Monica. Or Christopher.
Who's Christopher?
It's quite literally in his name.
Christopher is an Antifa radical anarchist who flicks off cops and says, F you, cop!
Oh no, John.
Wait, hold on. My understanding of Christopher is that he's a small town boy, military family, Republican lineage, that just wants to help make his neighborhood better.
Oh, wait,
I
that
like
wasn't
that.
Monica? That was you, serendipity? Hello, I'm sorry.
Hello.
Hello.
You're right, Mojo. But he's not serious anymore. We have an understanding.
So you're vouching for Christopher, so I should add him?
Dude, Christopher was one of the most epic voices on this app. When everybody else was chasing, the big names that were off the app, he made a name for himself on this app. He literally made a house called Chris Sweat a Rant, and he would get on the stage by himself, rant for 15 to 20 minutes, and there'd be 100 people listening with no ability to interact with him whatsoever. They would just listen to him rant. It was probably the most interesting experience. I don't think it was necessarily the most engaging rooms. He would then bring people up after the rant, but it was fascinating to watch how he could captivate people. It was like a one-man Broadway show.
Nice. Congratulations, Christopher. I guess no replays because this looks like a new-ish account, huh?
Oh, this was years ago. That's funny.
Thought it was Kristen Lamar.
I don't think Christian Lamar ever got 100 people in his rooms.
True, Monica.
Christopher, if there was one thing that you wish Clownhouse users knew or read in a book, what is it?
Oh, I don't know. I honestly only come up here to fucking catch up with you guys once in a while. I don't think I've been on here for like 10 months or something, but this app sucks.
Isn't that projection though? Because like, doesn't the app actually suck if you suck? But like, what if other people on the app don't suck?
No, the people don't suck. The app sucks.
Does the app bite?
It's a conference call. It's just people. Like the app is, basically a non-existent thing. It's a fucking conference call.
No, they ruined the app, and it sucks.
Well, what is the app
didn't
other
used
than
to suck.
speakers having a
It just
conversation?
sucks now.
So, my interpretation of the app is it's your own choose your own adventure game. So, if you're unhappy with the content, you have the freedom to create your own.
Exactly.
Hi, everyone.
As is always the
Valuable
case.
To add to the conversation. I just wanted to come up to the stage so I could be included. Thank you.
Dylan,
Thanks, Dylan.
Dylan,
Well,
welcome to the
Dylan.
Self Adventure Club, Dylan. Congratulations on making your first step in your new self adventure.
But yeah, it's group calls, okay? That's all it is. Just a big old group call.
Yeah.
You're a big old group call.
With a picture.
Whoa, what the
don't-
violence,
don't-
Cackles?
I don't
Sorry, I'm feeling violent now.
I don't think any of you are real. I think you're all just dots on a screen
Hey, Dylan.
making noises.
Dylan.
Hold on. Do we move him down for outing us, or what?
Well, hold on. Maybe what we need to do is read the rules of the house to
That's
Dylan.
exactly what
Oh, let me put him on my
Yes.
PCR.
Dylan, we have rules.
We're a real inclusive bunch, too.
What?
I just read the rules for the first time in my life.
Do you
Dude,
agree to abide by them?
I have so far.
Hold on.
would you like me to read them to you?
Just for us to hear more of your voice, we will answer yes.
In the
Okay.
mouse.
Okay,
In the
no threats
mouth?
of violence, no problem. No doxing,
Okay.
no problem. Stay on topic. I'm gonna try. Keep your shares brief, okay? Don't interrupt speakers. I'm pretty good at that.
Okay, so we didn't say read them out loud. We said Monica's going to read them out loud.
Yeah, but don't forget the last few.
Okay. In the Muff now has 1,029 members. This house, the rooms, and the chat are for entertainment purposes. So where did he stop? Number 5. Do not interrupt.
Just start from the beginning. We want to hear as much Monica as we can.
Okay.
I'm so lost. Where are we starting?
The rules?
This is
Number 1.
French. Bye.
No. Bye. No threats of violence. No doxing. Stay on topic. Keep your shares brief. Do not interrupt speakers, especially mods. Mods may interject when appropriate. The N-word is forbidden on stage and in chat. Don't spam the chat. Do not bring drama here from other rooms, and English only. PSA. Assume that all rooms are being streamed. Paul and the team have taken away the mod's ability to remove people that do this when they introduce the anon features.
So well written.
Who left in a temper tantrum? Hey, Bren.
I appreciate the English only.
I mean,
Do you know the spirit of why we have the English only rule? Can anyone guess?
Yeah.
So the ICE will know who not to take?
Oh, that's a good guess. But no, I unfortunately only am fluent in English, although I do know un poquito when it comes to Espanol. And so because I don't have a mastery of other languages, it's just easier for me to moderate rooms both on the stage and in the chat if we agreed that we're all going to speak English. Poker rooms have this rule to avoid collusion.
Ah, poker rooms. I disagree. I think you might be fluent in sarcasm and have a doctorate in memology, but I could be wrong.
I also have a crush on Monica.
You guys are getting married. So cute.
Monica and Mojo sitting in a tree, clubhouse style.
Where's Kelly?
K-I-S-S-I-N-G.
So uncomfortable.
Monica, I hear you blushing.
You guys, don't be ashamed of your love.
Seriously, can we get Kelly in here to...
Kelly is making sandwiches at this time and eating watermelon. She might show up later.
I would like to join the Monica pile-on and also just say that you are a beautiful woman with the greatest voice on Clown House. And when I saw Moon last night, that beautiful light, I thought of your beauty and your grace and your magnificence, magnificent Monica, aka Scarlett.
He's trying to get me to leave, isn't he?
No.
Hello and welcome to Con House.
Fight with Mojo. John, we do not believe in duels. Settle down.
Well, when I hear flattery and compliments,
Hold on. I just want to say that if we believe what the Bible says about love, it's okay because love is not jealous. So there could be plenty of admirers of Monica.
Oh, good. Can we just throw me in the mix, too?
Everybody, serendipity is now in the splash.
I'm used to dog piles, but not this kind. So...
Is it enough with the love bombing already?
I think you can only get great compliments if you truly anonymize yourself and remain, anonymous.
I like this poll. This is a fun poll. Should we go around and each have our own pet peeve poll? Like, what's the worst?
Yeah.
Chewing off mute just kills me. There's a very few number of people who can do it that I don't get over, but the majority, man.
Girl, you counted his ice cubes this morning.
But serendipity, was I wrong? I was rude.
You were not.
I was rude, but I don't think I was wrong.
You were absolutely not wrong. That's honestly, all of my pet peeves surround noises. Noises trigger me.
Are we talking about pet peeves just on Clubhouse or in life?
In life. It's everywhere, yeah. Repetitive noises bother me. Chewing, smacking, gurgling, gulping. Anything you do with your mouth. Ugh.
Okay,